Hello, hello. Welcome to A Novel Console, your weekly podcast where we talk about books, games, food, and stuff that caught our attention during the week. My name is Chris, and with me is my beautiful co-host and fiance, Karradyne.
Karradyne.
And today we got a reason to celebrate. You know what day it is today?
It's 3D Day.
It's Mario 3D Day! We also get to celebrate because the PlayStation 5 finally got a price. It's $500 for the disc one and $400 for the discless only digital one. Guess which one I'm buying?
Nothing, because it's on my birthday and you're going to use that money for my birthday presents.
Cute. Cute. We'll see. We'll see. You might just get a pre-owned PlayStation 4 for your birthday.
I don't need that.
It has HBO.
I can watch The Lord of the Rings on it.
Yes, you can, because it has HBO, it has Hulu, it has Netflix. So, yeah, it's Mario Day. I hope you guys are enjoying that game. I know that I am probably going to be enjoying it by the time that you guys are listening to this. I did pre-order at GameStop, unfortunately, because my local retro game shop that does pre-orders needed full payment, and I didn't really feel like paying for the whole thing. And I'm probably gonna play this all weekend. Apart from that, nothing has really happened this week, but we did take my drug aunt and my sister to get pho at Viet Thai, and we had tofu.
We did. It was fried tofu, so it was like mozzarella sticks, but only if you don't think about the fact that it's not mozzarella sticks. It was not bad.
No, it was actually really good. I didn't think that I was gonna enjoy it, but I did. It had a sweet and sour, kind of little bit spicy sauce.
Yeah.
To dip in. It was really, really good.
I don't know about that.
No?
It was okay.
To you?
To me. I kept thinking about it, and then it turned me off.
Because it was so wet?
Yeah.
The tofu was wet.
I can't think about it.
So good.
Oh no.
I enjoyed it. And it was full. The place was full.
It was packed.
Like it's never really that full. And our favorite waitress, she was just being beaten down so bad by all these people there.
Bless her heart, she was the only person working, and she was miserable. She kept coming to our table trying to take our order because she knew what we wanted, but didn't understand that we were waiting for 2 more people to join us for once. We never do that.
Yeah, because we had my drug aunt with us, and my sister and my aunt came in, but my aunt went into the bathroom, and my sister came down, and she runs back, she's like, ready to order? 2 pho thai? And we're like, no, we're waiting for somebody else. And my aunt came down, she sat down, she started talking instead of looking at the menu. And the waitress came by, are you ready to order? It's like, no.
Poor waitress was so frazzled.
She was taking a beating, unfortunately. But we did left her a good tip. Things eventually calmed down. And I'm sure she had a good night's sleep that night.
I bet she did. We ran her ragged.
Oh, God, poor lady.
Mm-hmm.
And apart from that, we did talk about our wedding food during dinner.
Yeah, anytime we're with family, we tend to talk about the wedding. And the thing is, we were supposed to have this big wedding at the end of October, and we're still going to get legally married, but obviously, social distancing. We're not having a big wedding anymore. We're not even having this wedding at our venue. We postponed the big party until next year. We're just going to have a little backyard wedding. But for our big wedding, we were talking about, or the original plan was to have Mission Barbecue cater. It's a local barbecue joint. Got really, really fucking good food.
They have pretty much the only brisket that I would eat. Their brisket is amazing. I hate brisket, and their brisket is good.
No, I love brisket, and their brisket is the most amazing brisket I've ever eaten in my life.
Yeah, and they also have really good turkey, and it's like smoked turkey, and it's so juicy, and I think this turkey might be almost as good as the turkey that I make.
In the middle of May.
Yeah.
He made a freaking Thanksgiving turkey in May.
I mean, when we moved out of our old apartment, our roommates left a turkey there for some reason. And
I think they forgot about it.
It was kind of a big fucker too. We took it to our new place, and my grandparents were here, and we wanted to do a little something, to celebrate
our big move.
Yeah,
finally no roommates.
So
Yay!
I did a whole ass turkey in May, and it was delicious.
It was awesome. It was awesome. But anyway, so back to the wedding food. We're now talking about maybe just like doing finger foods for our big wedding, because it's not going to be this big fancy to do thing anymore. I mean, it never was, because I'm not a fancy to do person. I mean, we're having a Lord of the Rings themed wedding, for Christ's sake.
In a backyard.
In a backyard. Well, the big wedding is going to be Lord of the Rings too. But it's not fancy. No. It's nice, but it's not a Kardashian bling bling wedding.
Yeah, we're not that type of people.
No. But yeah, so we're talking about doing finger foods. Probably just like some sandwiches. May or may not be from Walmart. Don't judge us. We're not white trash, I promise.
Who cares? Walmart's deli meats are amazing.
They are really good.
Especially that sun-dried tomato turkey.
It's amazing.
It is so fucking good. So here's something that I want you guys to do. Once you finish this episode, we need you to go to Walmart, order a pound of sun-dried tomato turkey.
Or 2, because you'll want more.
Yeah. Grab a loaf of Puerto Rican or Cuban bread. Get provolone cheese. Get tomatoes. Get lettuce and mayonnaise. Go home. Cut that whole roll in half. Open it up. Slather it in mayonnaise. Throw the turkey on. Just pile that entire 1 pound onto it. Throw the provolone in. Throw the tomato. Throw the lettuce on it. And eat it. Because it is fucking amazing.
It is fabulous. When I told him to get this turkey, never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that he would go all out and make these elaborate sandwiches for us, because I was just picturing like 2 little slices of bread, some mayonnaise, and turkey. Like, no, he went all out. And it was an amazing sandwich.
See, the thing is that you ordered it, you told me to get it, and it's funny because I had like $160 of groceries already in the cart. And I tell the lady, hey, just give me a pound of sun-dried tomato turkey. I didn't even think this thing existed. And as soon as I tried it, it just popped into my head, all those ingredients. Just the Puerto Rican bread, the mayonnaise, provolone, tomato, lettuce. And I was like, I need to buy this shit. It's so good. It's so fucking good.
It was very tasty.
And those groceries ended up being like almost $220. It
was worth it.
And I think we still have some stuff in the pantry from those groceries.
I have no doubt.
Oh, so fucking good. So damn good. But yeah, we're thinking about having just finger food. I mean, because it's a party. We don't want to have like a stuffy wedding. We just want to have fun. And
exactly. At this point, it's just going to be like a vow renewal 1 year into it. So why not just party the hell? Yeah. Why not?
You imagine we've been 3 years together and we've been perfectly fine. Almost had like no fights.
And then watch the next year just be a train wreck.
Just be fucking,
a train wreck.
Just be chaos.
This podcast is going to crash and burn.
It'll be like in Scrubs when Dr. Cox married his ex-wife and everything was horrible, and then they got divorced and everything was perfect again.
Okay, let's not jinx it. Please and thank you. But yeah, speaking of the wedding, Chris's aunt, the one that went to Thai with us, she was not drugged. She was drunk, and we made her think she was drugged. Anyway.
It's funny, because we brought it up.
She didn't remember any of it.
She was like, you guys did what? I was like, we didn't put drugs in it, but we convinced you that we did. And he's like, you better not have fucking put drugs in it. I can get in a whole lot of trouble. Just fucking do that to me.
She was so upset all over again. But yeah, so his aunt, his sister, and his cousin and I are talking about possibly taking like a quick weekend trip up to Atlanta before the wedding, because we want to go to 𝘋𝘢𝘺 𝘍𝘪𝘢𝘯𝘬é. You might think it's weird that I would want to go buy lingerie with his family. But there's a story behind why we want to go to this specific store. because obviously there are lingerie stores in Orlando. So in case you didn't know, the fine ladies who own this establishment had their own TV show on Lifetime. I think it only ran for like 2 seasons, maybe back in like 2013, if I'm remembering correctly. But the show was called Double Divas because they specialize in lingerie for...
I get it.
Oh my God, you just now got it? Are you kidding me?
Okay, so a little bit of a story. We actually tried to record this episode on the 15th. Today's the 16th.
So yesterday. I fucked up. I fucked up so hard.
We were going through like half the episode. We had gone through all this. We were in our groove. And all of a sudden, Karradyne does this panic face. And I stopped. I'm like, what? And he says, I closed out of the recording by accident. I was like, no. And then I closed out of mine and I deleted it without even thinking about it.
Thankfully, mine had like auto-saved.
But
then his was gone.
You know what? Let's take a break. Let's record in an hour. And then in an hour, we were like, let's just record tomorrow.
Yeah.
So this is a re-recording, and Karradyne just talked about double divas. And I just got it.
Double divas.
Yeah.
Duh. Anyway, they specialize in lingerie for the big busted and curvaceous women. So Molly, one of the co-owners, was actually also on my favorite TV show of all time, 90 Day Fiancé.
It's garbage.
I am trash, and I will happily admit it.
Such garbage.
Happily admit that I am trash. It is okay.
You're not trash. The show is trash.
But yeah, you watched some of her original season with me. It was that Lewis guy.
I think I watched the ending, and he was an idiot, and she was even stupider.
He lost his mind there at the end. But anyway, she's now on Pillow Talk with Cynthia, the other woman who co-owns the store with her. So yeah, we all want to go to the store and hope that they're actually there the day that we pop in and maybe fangirl a little bit, get some sexy stuff. Yay, good times. Wedding.
We watched the episode of 90 Day Fiancé the other day.
The most recent episode.
Yeah, unfortunately, she's gotten me into this crap.
And, he gets upset if I try to watch it without him. So, like, don't even let him tell you.
I actually like some of the couples.
Thank you.
Armando and Kenny.
Well, that's the other show that you're bummed out about not coming back until October.
Because they're
wholesome. They're so sweet.
I like them so much. They're the best couple in the entire show.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad for Andre because what the fuck is wrong with that Libby's brother?
Charlie.
That fucking idiot.
So
that drunk asshole.
On one hand, I do feel like Andre has brought about some of this on himself.
He has.
To an extent.
He has.
But they're being ridiculous. They're already fucking married. Why are you grilling him like it's her boyfriend? They have been married. They have a kid. Stop.
And they go to his best friend so that he can tell him what the fuck happened. It's like, just back the fuck off. It's not your place to stand and ask questions.
But my thing is, I think these people are TV whores because my coworker and friend, Marla, went into the dark, deep depths of Reddit. The 90-day subreddit. And found that it's rumored, and I'm sure it is 100% true, that Libby's family they actually like really get along with Andre and Libby. And they're just putting on all of this to stay relevant on the show, like the fucking family Shantae.
Ugh.
It's ridiculous.
Okay. Changing the subject.
I love 90 Day Fiancé.
Changing the subject, because enough of 90 Day. You remember we talked about Samurai Jack on our first episode, the game? So an interview came out this week where Genndy Tartakovsky, the creator, said that he was approached by Adult Swim originally to do this Samurai Jack game, to pen the story for it. And he said he didn't want to do it.
Why?
Because he didn't want it to be just a cash grab, just pump some shit game out so that people would buy it thinking it was good and it was actually garbage.
But money.
Exactly. That's what he thought was the reason. And then they said, no, we're going to do it right. We're going to do a game for the fans. It's going to be fun. We just really need you to pen the story. We got this company from Japan called Soleil to produce the game for us. We're just going to distribute the game after it's done. And he said, all right. So he got 2 more of the other writers, and they penned the whole story. So to me, that's pretty cool because that shows that they cared enough about this game, and he cares enough about his intellectual property so that he would put the work into it and actually make a really good product. Again, that game was amazing. It feels like a PlayStation 2 game, but it is so much better. And the thing is that he should have felt better about working with them, since Adult Swim has had an excellent track record of games lately.
Rick and
Morty. It was actually a VR game, and
I remember.
Reviewers said that it was a good VR experience, even
That's
though
good.
you really don't do much except for explore Rick's lab. And they did release my favorite game of that they've ever released, called Battle Chef Brigade. It's
What?
Yeah, it's literally a mix between
Sounds like Cooking Mama.
it's a mix of, let's say, Iron Chef, Chopped, Candy Crush, and Streets of Rage.
Candy Crush for
Yeah,
reals?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. I threw that one in from yesterday. I didn't say that one yesterday. So basically, all you do is you have these giant competitions to determine if you will join the chef army that this world nation has. And the way that you do it is there's this competition where a bunch of chefs go in, and they have to, in the competition, cook what the judges tell them they want to eat. So if they want to eat something earthy, you have to make something with earth elements, fire elements, or water elements, depending on what they want to eat.
What?
And you run out of the kitchen, and there's this giant field of monsters. And you kill these monsters, and you take their parts back into the kitchen so you can start cooking with them.
What the fuck?
It is awesome.
That sounds so weird.
It is so fucking awesome. You see like these little chickens just running around, and you kill them, and depending on the drop rates on them, you can either get an egg after you kill the chicken, or you can get some chicken after you kill the chicken. It's really fucking crazy.
I thought you said they were monsters. Are they monster chickens?
Yeah, because it's like
What?
It's like a chicken, like a giant football-sized chicken with one giant eyeball.
What?
Yeah.
So the Cyclops chicken?
Yeah.
What?
And there's like giant boar demons that you get to kill, or like fire lizards that you have to kill and cook with their tails.
Oh!
Yeah, so it's really, really crazy, and the game is so good.
I think I'd pass.
The
on eating
game,
those
the game
things.
is amazing. It was not released. Yeah, released by Adult Swim. Why am I being an idiot right now?
I don't know.
It was released by Adult Swim, and the game is phenomenal. They've also had some other stuff, and yeah. And before I continue, I think that's pretty much, for this week, for what's been going on.
Not much, but that's fine.
Just some fun stuff. So, are you ready to go into your part?
I think so.
All right, so it's time for book talk.
So this week's book is Anxious People by Frederick. I don't want to mispronounce his last name because everybody always mispronounces my name, and I feel the struggle, but I Googled it and I couldn't figure out how exactly to pronounce it. It's like Bachman or Backman?
Backman! Backman! I really wish we had that pug from the video, the one that they hold up. It's like, Backman! So he would do the Backman part for me.
I think Luna and that pug would be best friends.
Luna, come here. Let me squeeze you.
Okay, so it's by Frederick Backman. We'll go with that for humor's sake. And translated by Neil Smith because Backman, whatever, is Swedish.
Why don't you just go by his first name?
Yeah, Frederick. Okay.
Fred. Let's just call him Fred.
Freddie! Okay, so this book was published by Atria Books, and it hit shelves very recently on September 8th, 2020. I guess you could categorize it as just like general fiction with a touch of humor, but I'm not really sure that I would fully categorize it as a comedy or humorous fiction. I mean, it is hilarious. I don't know that everyone else would interpret it as hilarious. There are trigger warnings like suicide, so just be aware of that.
So, being that you don't really know how to categorize it because it's a little bit all over the place, what other books would you consider to be in this kind of genre?
I don't know that I would say like the exact same genre, but at least similar. I'm all over the place here. That's fine. So books that are to me similar to this would be maybe books by 𝘋𝘢𝘺 𝘍𝘪𝘠. Also, don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correctly. But she's the author of Me Before You. I really think about Me Before You when I think about Backman, because that book, it makes you laugh out loud, but it is also incredibly deep and heartbreaking. That's exactly how I felt about this book.
That's the one with the movie where Emilia Clarke.
Yes.
That's the one with the gift.
Mother of Dragons.
Yes, where she gets that Hufflepuff scarf.
What?
Isn't
no.
it? No.
No. Those are her fucking bumblebee stockings. So you got the colors right, but no, not a Hufflepuff scarf. Emilia Clarke is not in Harry Potter. She's in fucking Game of Thrones, bitch.
Emilia Clarke is not a Hufflepuff.
I mean, honestly, if we're going by Emilia Clarke as a person, she probably is a Hufflepuff. But if we're going by, like, her, what she's most famous for, she's definitely a Slytherin.
Oh, she's dragons.
Yes. Durr. Anyway. On a tangent, somewhere way out in left field. Okay, I feel like you could also, once again, another author whose last name I'm not sure I'm pronouncing correctly, could also compare his books to Jodi Picoult's books.
Jodi Picoult.
Jodi Pickles. Just in the way that he very masterfully weaves his story and sprinkles in these little Easter eggs all over the place.
So what kind of Easter eggs? Is it like pop culture Easter eggs, or is it like other book Easter eggs, or previous books that he's worked on Easter eggs?
No, it's just like end plot point Easter eggs.
Oh, so
his own Easter eggs.
So, what's it called?
Plot devices or foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing. Yeah, I was gonna say premonitions.
Yes. But yeah, it's like enough to make you gasp as you're reading it, and kind of sets the wheels turning, but you don't really fully understand the importance of it until the end. If that makes sense. Because I don't know. I'll never forget reading the final chapters of My Sister's Keeper, Jodi Picoult, and just all of these little pieces that you find out through the whole book finally coming together, and all of them making sense in this whole big picture. And I just cried my fucking eyes out, and it was so good. Now, this one was definitely not as moving in that sense, but I did cry my eyes out. I did see the whole big picture. Just Picoult's a lot more dramatic than this was.
Now, you did say that this book reminded you somewhat of A Man Called 𝘈𝘆𝑏𝑒.
It's the same author. 𝘈𝑆v𝑎.
𝘈𝑆v𝑎.
As it's pronounced in the audiobook, which is narrated by the fabulous J.K. Simmons.
Spider-Man!
Sorry, I really love J.K. Simmons.
he is fucking great.
He is awesome. He's ripped for his age. Holy crap.
State Farm is what he's in?
No, We Are Farmers.
Farmers. When he was at the end of the new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
And then they're not even going to make another movie, right?
They are, but they're kind of in a mess right now. They're kind of fumbling some shit. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember you talked about A Man Called 𝘈𝑆v𝑎, and you said that you cried a lot.
Yes.
I remember you crying a lot, actually.
I listened to that one on my way to Georgia, and I'm pretty sure you called me while I was in the throes of my listening to the end of this book and just crying, sobbing. It is so good. I mean, if I'm being completely honest with myself, I think one of the main reasons I love this author so much, and really that book in particular, A Man Called Ove, is because I feel like my Gramps would have loved this man's books. He would have loved him. I mean, he's funny. I can't talk about it and not cry. Okay, never mind. We're not going there. We're not going there.
All right, so let's get back to the book.
So back to the book, because, oh man, this is a very interesting one. Okay, so this book is about a bank robbery that technically does not happen.
Okay. What do you mean it doesn't happen?
So this
How can it be called a bank robbery if it doesn't happen?
So all of this is explained in the very beginning of the book, so don't yell at me about spoilers. But basically, this bank robber attempts to rob a cashless bank. Big fuck up.
Wow.
And is then running away from the scene, just like happens in this building. And there's just a staircase, and I think that the bank robber thought the police were right behind them or something. I don't remember exactly. Runs up these stairs. There's an open door, which leads into an apartment that is open for viewing, and there are like 10 to 15 people viewing this apartment. It's all on New Year's Eve, and it turns into a hostage situation because the bank robber that didn't even get to rob a bank has a gun.
This shit, to me, it sounds like something that Charlie Kelly and Frank would get into in Always Sunny. That's Charlie Day and Danny DeVito. It's some stupid situation that they just got into because they're stupid.
Like, oh, we fucked up again. I've never even seen that show, but I can totally, just those two actors, like, I can see it.
That show is fucking amazing. It's so good.
I need to watch it.
You probably hate it.
Oh.
But it's so good.
Well, anyway, so at times, this book made me feel like I was tripping on drugs. I shit you not. I listened to it on audio thanks to 𝘋𝘀�FM ALC program. If you are a book reviewer, definitely recommend you check out 𝘋𝘀�FM and apply to be part of this program if you are a reviewer. And I'm honestly glad I read it in this format because I feel like it kept me on my toes that much more. Like not seeing a chapter heading and I don't know, immediately figuring out what the next chapter was about. Because see, the chapters, every chapter focuses on a different character at a different time in the story. And when I say different character, you got all of the characters in the apartment. You got the bank robber. You got the police. There are 2 police officers. It's a lot. But they also focus on like the different times in the story. So you've got some that focus on things that happened before the bank robbery that didn't happen. Things that happened during the hostage situation, which is not all that tense, by the way, just in case you were wondering. Things that take place after the crime, as well as things in the distant past that seemingly have nothing to do with the whole situation.
So that kind of to me sounds a little bit about like a Small Town Murder.
How?
For those that don't know, Small Town Murder is a podcast where it's true crime, but the guys that are hosting it, which are Jimmy Wisman and James Petrogal, they're comedians, so they make fun of the entire thing except for the victims and the victims' family. So they make fun of the crooks, of the police, of the judges. Everybody that did something fucking stupid is getting their fair share of shit, and it's fucking hilarious. But the way that they tell the story is they start with the town statistics, then they go into like the people that were involved, and eventually when they get to the murder part, they kind of like stop, go back, give you a little bit of backstory on the criminal, then they go back into like the court proceedings and all that shit, and oh, they're so good. It's so fucking good. It's hilarious. And you said that it has multiple characters, multiple main characters.
There's so many characters. You got like, I wish I had counted, but you have 10 or more, I think. Maybe less than 10. I need to go back and count. Main characters that the story follows, and I honestly don't know that I would prioritize any particular character over another, except that I think I would put the bank robber at the bottom of the totem pole because I don't feel like the bank robber is such a main point of focus until the end, and still not even the main point, but more emphasized at the end. It's like The Office. You don't know who the main character is.
Oh, God.
Except that study that they did that proved that Dwight Schrute is the main character because he is in every single fucking episode.
I hate The Office.
I love The Office so much.
That show got better after Michael left.
Michael is everything. Don't listen to anything he says.
I don't hate Steve Carell. I love Steve Carell.
Steve Carell is...
Every other single
magic.
actor in the show, I love them. And their characters didn't get to grow at all until the final season.
That's not true.
It is true.
It's not true at all.
Michael Scott was such a vacuum of attention in that damn show that you did not get to see any of the other characters grow at all.
I loved giving him all of my attention.
I hate Michael Scott so
I
much.
will give him my attention always.
God, he's so annoying.
He's everything.
Let's jump out of The Office because we're going to get stuck here. So, you were saying that there's not really a main character at all. This type of storytelling, I like it.
I love it. I mean, I love it the way he writes it, at least.
So there's this game called Final Fantasy VI. It's my favorite RPG of all times. You don't have a main character. You start out with a character, but like 3 hours or 4 hours into the game, she gets taken away, and you don't see her again till like 8 hours later. This game is amazing. You have like 20 characters. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a background. Everybody has a future. It's so fucking good.
Does it all come together at the end?
Yes. Oh, and coolest part about this, the villain wins halfway through the game.
What?
He destroys.
Spoiler alert!
He destroys the entire world
What?
halfway through the game. It's more than 20 years old at this point. So.
Not a spoiler alert.
Exactly.
If you didn't know that, shame on you.
And oh my god, it's such a fucking good game. So going back to it, we have a very important question.
Yes.
Is there any bank robber wiener in this book?
There is no dick in this book. And I didn't even fucking think about it until now because it was so good that I didn't even realize there was no dick. It was so good.
No wiener at all. Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
There is this, there is a man with a rabbit costume head on, sitting in the bathroom of the apartment, just sitting on the toilet. That's about as close as you get to seeing some dick.
Are you sure this isn't just an episode of Always Sunny? Because Jesus Christ, I'm spinning all over myself.
So, minor spoiler, just a warning. So, one of the apartment viewers is a pregnant woman, and she needs to go to the bathroom, and she's trying to get in the bathroom, but the bathroom door's been closed the whole time. Turns out it's locked, and she's knocking on the door, asking to come in. Something on the other side of the door starts knocking back.
It's the rabbit head.
It's the rabbit head man. And they finally get in the bathroom, and here's this dude just chilling on the toilet, taking a shit.
With a rabbit head.
Turns out that two of the other apartment viewers are professional apartment flippers, and the wife, unbeknownst to the husband, has been hiring, like, apartment ruiner people to come, like, ruin apartment viewings so that nobody else will want to buy it. So he's sitting in the toilet taking a shit with a rabbit head on to turn the other buyers away so that they can buy it to flip it. It is wonderful.
Before we continue and you tell me the entire story of the book.
I don't want to tell everyone the whole plot line.
I am spitting everywhere.
I promise it's so much deeper than this. And like I said, trigger warning, there is discussion of suicide. So just know that going into it.
All right. So what would you rate this book?
Easy 5-star rating. I promise that I read books that I don't like. But I have a really hard time finishing them because I tend to DNF. So I've been trying to push myself through the shitty books here lately, so I'll have at least some shitty reviews to share with you. But yeah, it's a real good book.
All right. Anything else you want to bring to light about the book before we continue on?
No, I don't think so. I don't want to make you cry again.
All right. So I guess it's time for games and stuff. So for this week's game, we have Shantae on the Game Boy Color, released June 2nd, 2002. It's an action platformer game in which you control a half-genie guardian that protects Scuttletown.
What's an action platformer?
It's a game where you jump between platforms, avoiding pitfalls, climbing up higher places, and you also have attacks.
Okay.
So Mario would be a platformer, an action platformer would be more like Castlevania.
Okay. I can see the difference between those two.
Yeah, so you have ways to attack the enemies more than just jumping on their head. So this game was developed by 𝘋𝘍𝘪 and published by Capcom. It came extremely late in the Game Boy Color's lifespan, having very poor sales that barely passed the 25,000 copy mark.
Oh dear.
That is garbage numbers. Those are really, really bad numbers. Now, this game released after the Game Boy Advance was released, which is crazy to me that they would even do this game for the Game Boy Color. But this game, graphically, it looks amazing. Despite the fact that the Game Boy Color was an 8-bit system, this game at times looks to me like an early Super Nintendo game. This game is detailed, and the coolest part about it that I thought was really, really fucking cool until later on was that it has a day and night cycle that affects the overworld and the towns as well.
So it's like Pokemon?
Yeah, but unlike Pokemon, where you actually use your system's internal clock, you have a 10-minute day and night cycle. So 10 minutes in day, 10 minutes in night, which is, it gets annoying after a while, but it's still fucking impressive that a Game Boy Color has that shit. The animations in this game are fluid and fast. Shantae's dancing animation is so fluid, you see like every single frame of her movements, and it's unlike anything I've seen before on a Game Boy or a regular Nintendo.
I mean, the whole time he was playing this, he's like, look at this, it's so awesome, look at this, it looks so good. I'm like, yeah, it looks amazing. I have no frame of reference.
It does look fucking amazing. And the music in this game, it's fucking badass. It's Arabian Nights style music combined with hip-hop and EDM. It is awesome. Now, the one thing that kind of falters a little bit would be the rest of the sound design. You know, the jumping, the attacking, the taking damage. It's what you would expect to hear in Law & Order or some dumbass show like that when they talk about video games. Beep, boop, beep, boop.
I picture you playing Pong.
Something like that. It's horrible. The gameplay in this game is at its best when it comes to platforming. The combat in the game, while it works, it's so frustrating.
Why?
Shantae's hitbox is massive, and her attack range is so small that you will likely take damage whenever you attack somebody. Like, it happened to me a couple of times where I would jump over an enemy, and my feet would just barely graze their head, and I would take damage.
What the hell?
It fucking annoyed the shit out of me.
They should be taking damage, not you.
You would think. But no, video game logic. Now, I do have quite a bit of problems in the game. Enemies during the nighttime have so much health that you're better off just waiting for daytime before going into the overworld and exploring, or you would have to tank on through, take as much damage, and hope you get to the end before you run out of lives, because you're gonna die no matter what.
In the dark, all alone.
The other thing that annoyed me, it wouldn't have been so bad that the enemies had so much health or that your hitbox were as bad if the drop rates were consistent, because they're not. They're very inconsistent. So you would have to kill like 5 or 6 enemies just to get not even 1 heart. You would have to kill about 10 to get 1 heart container. You would have to kill like 5 or 6 just to get 2 or 3 gems so you could have some money to buy stuff. They are bad. I hated that shit. There were items to buy for you to upgrade your move arsenal, but they were very expensive. So there was one that allowed you to do like a flash kick where she just like jumps up and kicks in the air. But that thing was 900 gems.
How long does it take you to earn enough money to buy something like that?
A while.
900 gems?
A long time. I didn't do it.
Like hours?
I mean, probably. This game is about 9 hours long, and I'm pretty sure that if you were to buy everything, it would take you at least twice that just to make sure you have enough money to buy everything.
Then what's the point? I understand needing it to be like a goal and somewhat unattainable.
I mean, if you're going to go for a completion run, yeah. But if you're just going to play it to go through the story like I did, it's worthless. I mean, you also get to have, like, you get these transformations, right? Mm-hmm. For those transformations, you get to have attacks. But for those attacks, you need to find certain items in the overworld. And some of these items that you get to find in the overworld, you can only get them after you've gotten all the transformations. So by the end of the game, they're completely worthless because you won't really use them. Another thing I hated was the save points. They were so sparse. Most of the time you would get a save point next to each dungeon that you would go into to get one of the MacGuffins to save the day.
You know what I hate?
What?
I hate it when I ask him to find his fucking save point when it's time to eat dinner or leave for dinner or leave to go anywhere in general. And I swear I think he doesn't look for them on purpose. Because he takes forever. Every time.
Maybe. But yeah, so these save points, most of the times you would have one next to the dungeon. You can just go save, go back into the dungeon. In the 4th dungeon, which is the one before the end of the game, I went over to I got to the dungeon, it opened, and I was like, okay, maybe if I go to the left, I'll find a save point so I can, come back, and not if I die, I'm not going to lose that much progress. I jumped over, I got down, I saved, I tried to get back up. It had an unclimbable hill. So I had to go all the way around the whole world map to get back to the dungeon entrance.
That's insane.
It drove me fucking bananas. I almost stopped playing the whole fucking game.
You had to go back from the Shire all the way back to Mordor. From Mordor.
No. You had to go from the entrance of the Shire all the way around Middle-earth and the entire planet to get back to Frodo's house. From
the entire planet?
Yes.
No, thank you.
That's what it was.
No, thank you.
I almost gave up.
I would have. I DNF books. Come on.
So, this would have been fixed with just getting rid of the entire life system. Just have unlimited continues. Every time you die, you start at the beginning of the room where you died. That was great. That actually, I was like happy with that. But then they added the whole life system, and it just fucked everything up. I wish when you transform it was easier to do, because you would have to hit the dance button and actually do the combinations for you to transform. And they were rhythm based, so you would have to hit them at a specific time. Otherwise, you fucked up and you couldn't transform, which was very fucking annoying, especially when you're trying to transform into a fucking monkey and there's a snake lady hitting you nonstop so you can get away from her.
Okay, I have to stop you. I've heard you talk about now monkeys and snake ladies. Didn't you say something about like some fucking baby squids or something?
Oh,
it sounds like the weirdest game ever.
I was going to get to that. So you have a teleportation system in which you go into the dungeons, you collect baby squids, and you bring them back to their mother. Funny part is once you give them to their mother, the mother's not really sure that that's her baby squid.
What?
Yeah. So each town has 4 baby squids that you have to get. But starting the game, you really can't get the first 4. So you have to go to the second dungeon to complete that set so that you can go to one town and drop off the baby squids.
What do baby squids have to do with anything?
They're the children, and she will not help you teleport until you get the fucking
Is Shantae
children.
an ocean creature? No, because you don't have monkeys and snake ladies in the ocean.
So Shantae is a half genie. She's not a full-fledged genie.
What the hell does a half genie have to do with the baby? I don't understand.
I don't either. It works for the most part. I do get finding the baby squids, getting them back so you can be able to transport back into that town. What I hated was that you have to learn a dance from the squid.
The baby squid teaches you how to dance.
The mummy squid teaches you how to dance.
Oh my god.
You would have to input like a 5-button rhythm dance so that you could actually teleport. That shit drove me insane. Because I would miss my beat on like the 4th button input, and I would have to start again from the beginning.
Sounds like Bop It.
Oh god, it was so annoying. And again, the final boss, which was so fucking easy. The entire last dungeon and the boss were pretty much as easy as the first beginning of the game.
Isn't the final boss supposed to be the hardest part?
Yeah. You know how I cheesed it?
How?
She has a little magical item that spins around her and damages anything it touches. I just bought like 40 of those. Because those items, they cost like 10
Hearts.
monies. And you pay 10 monies and they give you like 10 of them. So I bought like 40. And I was fighting the last bad guy, Risky Boots. And
what?
Her name's Risky Boots.
Risky Boots?
Yes.
Like Puss in Boots?
No, Risky Boots. She's a pirate lady. She wears boots, obviously. Pirate pants. And the top of her pirate pants has like teeth. And then she has like a tube top with like more teeth. So it makes kind of like a skull mouth. And her boobs are the eyes of the skull mouth.
What makes pants pirate pants? Number 1.
They're kind of baggy.
Oh my god. Why?
They're baggy and they're tucked into your boots.
Why? Her vagina has teeth?
No, the top of her pants has
Her
teeth.
vagina has teeth.
Her vagina does not have
She has a man-eating beast.
Maybe she does. I think she actually flashed Shantae at one point by accident.
What?
At one point, she tricks you into something. She takes off her costume, and it's so... Her character model is so pixelated and little that it almost looks like she flashes you when she takes off the thing.
Risky business from Risky Boots.
Ah, damn Risky Boots. So, yeah, it was so easy. I cheesed the whole thing, and... Endgame. I do have a few praises for the game. This game has the animal transformations, which were great. They did give you new ways of exploring the overworld, which kind of broke it down into kind of like a little Metroidvania where you actually have to get new skills to explore more of the game. It did have heart containers, so it gave the game kind of a little bit of a Zelda vibe. You grab the heart container, you get an extra heart, which is 2 extra hits that you can take. The respawn system worked well. You know, you go into a room, you die, you start at the beginning of the room. I just wish they would have gotten rid of the life in general. Just the whole life system, just throw it the fuck out. It's not needed. The character models were super detailed in-game and in the pause screen. So when you hit pause, you had like a full Shantae character model that was super detailed. And on that Game Boy, it looked fucking crazy. It was awesome. Shantae did have a full model image of her when you went into town, so it would be kind of like a circle, and you would be standing in the game and you would spin around so you could look at the buildings that you could go into, and you could actually see like a full detailed Shantae, and wherever you were moving, she would move her head, and you could see those details. They were pretty fucking cool. They were mind blowing, and whenever you decided to go into whatever store you wanted to go into, she would just run in, and you could see like her whole sprite just running in. And one of the coolest things is that whenever you collected one of the MacGuffins that you needed to save the day, she would jump into the air and like do an entire spin, and her whole spin was completely modeled. It wasn't where you see like her side, her back, her other side, her front. It would be the entire thing. So like her back side would be completely modeled. Her front side would be completely modeled. And it was cool too because she has her ponytail. You could see like the spaces in between the ponytail as she spun around, so it wasn't just like a solid chunk of graphic or whatever. So that to me was awesome. Now, overall, this game is technically amazing. This game would have probably been the best game on the Game Boy Color if it wouldn't have been for those shortcomings that I talked about. It would have had a better save system, better hitboxes. Just keep the enemies at the regular health amount that they had during the daytime. It would have been so much better. Unfortunately, as technically amazing as this game is, I'm going to have to give it 3 stars. If you're a lover of action platformers, play this game. It has an amazing story. It's not an amazing story. It has an amazing legacy. It spawned a great action platform series. And I fell so in love with the game, even though I almost didn't finish it, that I immediately, as soon as I finished it, I started the second one. It is so good. It's awesome. And yeah, 3 stars. So, now that I'm done, I guess we're ready to go into our favorite segment. Do you know what that is?
Gimme the garbage.
All right, that's Gimme the Garbage. Is my favorite song in the entire show. I just love that "Give Me the Garbage" intro song.
He was so proud of himself finding that one.
No, you actually found that one.
Oh yeah, I did.
When we went to that sushi place.
Yeah.
You found the song because I was like, you gotta find your fucking song.
Yes, I was trying to pick out my song, and he finds the "Give Me the Garbage."
I love it. It's so good. All right, so you want to tell us where we ate today? Well, this week?
So this week's restaurant is Twisted Root Burger Company. I don't know if it's a chain or if it's local. Oops.
I think it might be local. Anyway,
so we were going to cook last night, but we were stupid and didn't factor in how much time we'd actually need to make what we wanted to make. So we decided to DoorDash instead because we are adults and we can do whatever the fuck we want. So they had a deal in app for 20% off Twisted
First
Root.
warning flag. 20% discount on DoorDash. That's a warning flag.
And we've been wanting to try it for a while now. He had noticed it. One of my coworkers recommended it. I don't think I'm ever going to trust anything that guy says ever again.
I mean, and I have seen some foodies on Instagram that have talked about it.
But have they raved about it, or have they just talked about it?
They posted the pictures.
That doesn't mean anything.
Now I know it doesn't mean anything.
So, first, the food was delivered in clear plastic containers.
Second warning flag.
As soon as we opened the damn bag.
Clear plastic containers.
Which was soaking wet. And it was not raining.
That clear plastic containers. I have never had anything taste good come out of clear plastic containers.
I don't even remember the last time I was given food from a takeout place that was in a clear plastic container.
I do, and I'm going to tell you. I worked at the pharmaceutical company, and they had their own cafeteria. All of their food, they served in clear plastic containers. All of their food was fucking disgusting. And I've had the worst sushi from that place. It was brown quinoa. With...
How do you make sushi with quinoa?
Instead of rice, use quinoa.
That sounds terrible.
And it had salmon, avocado, and cream cheese. That shit tasted of only soy sauce. And again, clear plastic containers.
So yeah, these damn containers basically acted as a steam box, making literally everything that we ordered soggy. And here's what we ordered. We ordered 2 types of cheese fries. The regular cheese fries, obviously just cheese. And the Macho Man. Macho Man fries are topped with brisket, bacon pieces, pepper jack, and cheddar cheese, fried egg, and they're drizzled with chipotle sauce.
I didn't even know that had chipotle sauce because it was so soaked into the fries that...
I did see a little bit of it that was like runny mixed in with the steam, the moisture from the steam, like just a little river in the bottom of the container.
God, it was not good.
Yeah, they used real cheese, which is good.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. Use real cheese on your fries.
But in that container, it hardened to the point of being inedible on top of soggy as fuck fries.
It's like hard cheese and soggy fries.
It's just delicious. Delicious. So the Macho Man fries, that brisket tasted like straight up beef jerky that they just took out the bag and broke up into little pieces.
I hate brisket.
He's already said that.
I've said that before. And
this was not brisket though. It was beef jerky.
And this brisket that this had just solidifies the feeling that I hate brisket.
It was awful. And then the fucking egg that was on top of these fries was literally as hard as the beef jerky brisket, whatever the hell it was. Yeah. So I ordered the Freshman 15 burger. I know I should have avoided that name, but whatever, it's fine. So this
in theory, what it has, it sounds really good.
Yes, it did sound amazing. It's got smashed fries, melted cheddar, fried egg, and bacon. So I'm picturing like this perfect fried egg with like, my egg yolk drizzled down the side and some crispy bacon. That bacon was undercooked. Some pieces were raw.
Oh, so fucking bad. You want to tell them what happened when you bit into the middle of it?
So the smashed fries, I honestly thought that they had just forgotten to add that part because I didn't taste it or see it. I did make it to the middle of the burger and I legit almost cracked one of my front teeth.
That shit was so fucking hard. It was about as hard as the brisket and the egg in the brisket fries.
But when you're just biting into it unknowingly, I can't. I'm like, why couldn't our cheese fries have been this hard? As hard as these mashed fries.
No, she gave me she didn't even eat half of the burger.
I did not even eat half of my burger.
I was like, okay, maybe, it's... Maybe,
he thought I was exaggerating.
Maybe she's overreacting a little bit. Let me try it. I tried it. The first bite that I took, I tasted nothing. Nothing.
I mean, okay, let's take it back. Picture yourself in elementary school. It's lunchtime. It's Friday. It's hamburger day. This is what that hamburger tasted like. Bland sadness.
I could feel the texture of the beef. I could feel the texture of the potatoes and the egg.
But you couldn't taste anything.
You couldn't taste anything.
Except raw bacon.
Oh, God, it was so nasty.
Which I had to spit out.
No, I had the steak burger. It had steak sauce, garlic, baby portobello mushrooms, and thyme caramelized onions. The best part were the mushrooms, onions, and steak sauce. And I don't like mushrooms at all.
And he loves meat.
Yeah, and the thing is, that part tasted great, but I would have rather have the onions crispy rather than sauteed. Because if they would have been fried, I would have gotten a little bit of texture in them, and I actually like the taste of fried onions better than... It doesn't have to be onion rings. It can just be fried pieces of onion.
Really, honestly, just like some raw onion would have given you some crunch.
That would have been good, too.
Instead of raw bacon.
And now the patties were so bland and tasteless that they felt to me like they had just been pulled out of a freezer.
I'm honestly convinced they were Bubba Burgers from Walmart. Convinced.
And you can tell that the quality was not the best.
Nope.
It wasn't the worst. But to me, it just tasted like they had just gone unfrozen. And shit, they might have just been thrown frozen onto the grill because of the amount of tastelessness.
Yeah.
God, it was...
Because I think we determined that it looked like they were seasoned with maybe pepper. And that was
because I pulled Karradyne's burger apart after I almost broke a tooth on one of the fucking fries.
The smashed fries, not the French fries, not the cheese fries.
Jesus Christ! And it looked like it had been, seasoned, but I have no idea where the fuck the seasoning went.
Yeah, it was sad.
So
It's probably still on the grill.
honestly, Twisted Root Burger gets a definite garbage.
Straight up piece of shit garbage.
We're probably gonna give it another go at the restaurant. Maybe in person it's better.
Because so after the first bite, I was like, okay, we just need to go there in person. And then the second bite, I was just like, I don't think you could convince me to go back to this place. It's so bad. Luna would probably give it a garbage rating.
Oh, she got a couple
bites of
she
my
got
burger.
all the bacon and a lot of the non-tooth cracking fries.
She thought it was very tasty.
Yeah, she did. She's under the table sleeping.
But she thinks her own.
Yeah, okay. So, because that was garbage, we really don't want to end there because we've really had nothing good to say about it.
It was so sad.
I had the Travis Scott meal from McDonald's.
What was in that?
Oh, so it consists of a bacon cheeseburger with medium fries, a drink, and a packet of barbecue sauce.
Who the hell is Travis Scott?
He's a rapper.
Why does he have his own McDonald's meal?
I don't know.
Oh.
But it's kind of cool that he does have his own McDonald's meal.
I mean, yeah, it's just kind of random.
Yeah, it's weird going up to the drive-thru and being like, hey, let me get the Travis Scott meal. They're like, okay, one Travis Scott meal coming up.
Makes it sound like you're a bunch of name droppers.
Now, the burger patty, they use the quarter-pounder patty.
Oh, I like those.
I don't like those.
Oh, I love them. That's way tastier than Twisted Root.
It has barbecue sauce in it, mayonnaise, lettuce, and tomatoes, and bacon. McDonald's has the worst bacon of any fast food chain, including Burger King.
Are you sure?
Yes.
After this, are you sure?
At least Twisted Root had real bacon. It was just undercooked. The Sprite was as glorious as ever. McDonald's Sprite is probably the best Sprite there is.
Oh, wait, so this specific meal comes with Sprite?
Specifically Sprite.
Oh, can you change the drink?
Yeah, you can.
I mean, obviously. But
yeah.
Okay,
and the fries, like, lately, they were not salted at all.
Right. I mean, McDonald's used to, like, give you a heart attack with the salt on the fries, and now they don't put a fucking drop of salt.
Yeah, so, and also, I ordered a triple cheeseburger with no pickles on the side, just, to complete my meal, because I fucking love the triple cheeseburger. They forgot my fucking burger!
He was very mad. Sent me...
I paid for it! I paid $10 for the whole thing!
He sent me a very angry text message. He was very cranky in general that day, and this was just the little cherry on top.
This was all yesterday, the 15th. Yesterday was just a garbage-ass shit day. Even our dinner was garbage.
Yeah, it's okay. You can't win all of them.
I cooked, and we only had brown rice, so I made omu rice, and the brown rice did not dry up at all, and it fucked up our entire dinner.
It was real sad. We've been struggling on the food tastiness.
We had a good dinner tonight.
We did.
We went to Taco Maker.
We did.
We should do that sometime soon.
We should. But another thing that we had.
So, yeah, I know where you're going. But before that, let me finish with the Travis Scott.
Oh, darn.
So I get what this meal is trying to do. It gives a decent meal for $6. It's super cheap for college kids. But I don't think McDonald's is the right food chain to do it in.
Why?
McDonald's just doesn't have the best ingredients. And I feel like this, if you were to make this burger at home or with any other fast food place's ingredients, it would be a phenomenal burger. Because it's McDonald's and their ingredients aren't that good, this gets a certified meh.
But which chain do you think should have done it or could have done it better?
Checkers.
Really?
Culver's.
Culver's. I love Culver's.
Fucking Five Guys. You can probably get this burger at Five Guys and it'll be exactly...
It'd be so damn expensive though.
Yeah,
like
but
$15.
It would be exactly what Travis Scott would have wanted you to eat.
That's true. That's a good
What
point.
he envisioned.
Maybe Travis Scott really likes McDonald's.
I don't have a problem with McDonald's. I like their garbage as much as anybody else. But this, after all the hype and everything, it's food. It's edible. It's just not the greatest. And we did have something else, which Karradyne was trying to get into, but I didn't let her.
So we both had it, but we did not have it together. I had it the day it came out, because I'm
Yeah, I had it.
a real Chick-fil-A fan.
I had it this morning.
Oh, oops, I already said Chick-fil-A.
It doesn't matter.
So, we had the brand new mocha cream cold brew. It dropped Monday, the 14th. So I found it to be the perfect blend of coffee and chocolate. It was not terribly sweet, but like just sweet enough that it wasn't like coffee bitter.
What size did you get?
I got a large.
That's probably what
What size
happened.
did you get?
I got a regular.
What do you think the difference is?
I don't have enough of all the ingredients.
Oh,
I think the
I
cup,
felt like it was awesome.
I think the cup filled up before they could put the correct amount of everything in it.
Really?
Yeah. I think that's what the problem was. Because I really didn't think it was that good. First off, the whole chocolate was on the bottom. And because this is one of those fancy drinks that people like to take pictures of, it had where it does the color layers, where you have the chocolate in the bottom, cream in the middle, coffee on top. Because of that, I tend to not mix those for some stupid-ass reason. And I drank a lot of chocolate-flavored chocolate.
Well, that's your fault.
And then when I decided to mix the whole thing, all I could taste was just the coffee and the chocolate. But the coffee is so strong. And I like strong coffee. I felt like the coffee was so strong and the chocolate was so strong too that they were both canceling each other out. And all I could taste was bitter coffee and bitter chocolate.
So my experience was I mixed mine up, but some of the chocolate did still cake up in the bottom. So my last couple sips were a little too sweet because they were more chocolatey.
Yeah.
But I feel like I got it mixed up enough. I mean, I thought it was very tasty.
So, I like to try it again. I'm not opposed to it because surprisingly, Chick-fil-A has good coffee. Like their coffee is not water.
It's brand new. They had to wait until they perfected it. They had to have Jesus come down and perfect the coffee for them to serve. That's what this whole long waiting period was.
Yeah, so what would you say is the perfect sip of it? Just mixing it all together?
Yeah, you got a little bit of chocolate, a lot of coffee, and a little bit of cream.
See, my thing is I don't want to mix it together because I feel like if I buy it, it should already be exactly what they want me to drink.
Oh my God. You live in an age of millennials. You are a millennial. You live in an age of, what's the word? Influencers. You need to have the perfect photographic moment with your Chick-fil-A coffee.
So that's the perfect sip.
Yes.
What would you rate it?
Even though I say that it's so good, I still don't know that it deserves.
So do we have any rating? It's not a meh. It's not garbage.
It's
and
not
it's not
garbage.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It was good.
It's okay.
It wasn't amazing. It was okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. We can live with that. All right. So that does it for Give Me the Garbage. So let's go ahead and get into some housekeeping before we end the episode. We are almost at 1 hour and 10 minutes. Holy crap.
We gotta shut up.
Where the fuck did the time go? All right, so that's it for this week's episode. Remember to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at A Novel Console. You can also find the console on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify. And don't forget that you can find us also on YouTube. Go ahead and look up A Novel Console, and don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, like, and comment.
English is his second language.
It's not me no good at English. Also, I forgot to say, when you find us on Apple Podcasts and Google Play, please give us 5 stars and a review. That really helps out the show, helps us climb up the ladder, and helps us have more people find us and listen to us, maybe laugh with us too, because
we're funny.
We think.
We hope.
You can also email us at anovelconsole@gmail.com.
He got it this time.
Yay!
Woo! 3 episodes in. He did it.
And if you do, we will read your email on the show. We won't make fun of you.
We promise.
Will talk about whatever you want to talk about. Just go ahead and shoot us an email.
We will give you a garbage rating.
Maybe. Hey, that's something good that people can do. They can send us stuff in so that they want us to try out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun. And remember, our art was done by 𝘋𝘠𝘺 on Instagram. And we'll go ahead and see you guys next week. You want to say goodbye, Karradyne?
Goodbye. Have fun playing Mario and drink the mocha cold brew thing.
Yeah. Bye.